Welcome to our continuing YouTube video series on business law. My name is Christopher Neufeld of Neufeld Legal. And in this particular YouTube video, we'll be discussing the shifting dynamic of employees working, especially after the COVID-19 pandemic, from in-office to remotely and from working from home. And this is representing a significant shift, and from a financial standpoint could very well be very productive, especially with the continuing high rates of leasing. Nevertheless, one of the key considerations that needs to be taken in place is the assurance of productivity, the changes that this is going to make to oversight, supervision, and the like with respect to so many employees. So what is going to have to become a critical next step in the process is that companies that are going to allow or facilitate a shift following the pandemic, because a pandemic in effect is a requisition of the government to allow individuals to work at home, should the company determine that it could be advantageous, they create the option for it, but they also really should be having specially designed contracts, amendments to employment agreements, and employment policies that reflect the changes that are going to come with shifting an individual's employment from in-office to primarily working from home. Because when one works from home, one lacks the supervision, one lacks the oversight, one's duties can change, and one is more susceptible to not putting necessarily in the hours that are expected of them. So you want to be cautious about this because you want to take care in how the oversight is perceived, taken. You want to get some type of mutual agreement as to what the arrangements are with respect to oversight and the expectations that come out of it. If you don't have that in place, you could find yourself down the road running into some serious problems, whether it is a lack of productivity, a lack of responsiveness, availability, a desire to change the individual back to the office where they don't want to go back to the office. And this could create a whole range of human resources and employment law related issues that one needs to have addressed in part at the very outset of the process. Addressing it down the road as the problems arise is never a good thing. Instead, what needs to be done is one needs to take a step back and say, we're going to permit this, we're going to move in this direction. How do we go about doing this? And how do we insulate our business, our company, against the misuse of this new arrangement, but also when we have to take action to make sure that everyone is on board, how do we protect the interests of the company and the other employees? We've got to remember also, the other employees are going to be working diligently and hard, and having one or more employees who take advantage of a system, abuse a system, file lawsuits for a considerable amount of money, in effect hurts the entire business. So you don't want that coming about. But more importantly, you want to protect the company so that you can address issues should issues arise. And this is best done by having a new series of contracts that properly reflect these changes, whether this is actually a brand new contract that is properly negotiated, or if it's an amendment to the contract, new employment policies, supplemental agreements with respect to when shifting from working in office to working at home. It is something that every employer who is contemplating shifting their part of their employee base off-site and into their homes undertakes, because it's going to save them a world of headache going forward, and it's going to maintain a structure and allow them to proceed appropriately and continue to have the expectations and the productivity that they're looking for with this shift. Well, I trust you found this YouTube video informative. If you have legal matters before yourself relating to this or other aspects of business employment law, please do not hesitate to contact ourselves. Our contact information is available throughout this YouTube video, and we thank you and look forward to speaking to you again.